Hello, guys. Greetings and salutations, and a warm welcome to each and every one of you on MUSC Red Devils NCR. It is the month of May, and the month of May normally means that we are at the home stretch of our respective seasons. Each and every team is finding for ways to make that final push, and Manchester United is no exception. We are in the thick of a top four race, and we hope that by the end of the season we have secured Champions League football as well as hopefully added an FA Cup to our collection. But while the men's title race and the top four race is heating up, let us focus our attentions towards another team who has been quietly writing their own story, who have made waves and ripples for all the right reasons, and are one step closer and etching forward to etching their names in history. They are very close to attaining glory in their own right, which is nothing less than a phenomenal achievement considering that they have been formed just 5 years ago and yet on the cusp of glory and immortality. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, we are talking about the women's team of Manchester United who have been the surprise, not exactly surprise packages, but have been on a league of their own this season and are pushing for glory and writing their own story this season. Yes, Manchester United women currently find themselves on the top of the table for the Women's Super League and will face Chelsea in the FA Cup Women's Final very soon and have a golden opportunity to win a double, which is a phenomenal achievement considering that this team was reformed just 5 years ago in 2018. Just 5 years ago, United were in the second division, undertaking their journey as a new club, a new entity, and here we are 5 years later on the cusp of winning the biggest competition in the country as well as the FA Cup in Wembley. What a story it would be, and what a fairy tale it would be for the girls of our side who have been performing like champions throughout the course of this season and have left no stone unturned in doing the best that they can. So how have we come here? It comes down to a vast number of reasons. The first reason is the correct mix of players. Manchester United women have a right mix of youth and experience in their side, and not to forget, we have some of the best players in world football operating at the moment. None so than forward Alessia Russo, who is not only Manchester United's talisman but has also been England's talisman in the past few months, playing an instrumental role in the England Lionesses winning the Women's Euro not too long ago. Russo is the club's leading goal scorer at 10 goals and has been instrumental in United reaching this high. As far as goals scored is concerned, we have an elite presence in between the sticks as well in the form of Mary Earps. The 30-year-old is currently the world's best women's goalkeeper and has played at the top of her game throughout the season. And she has also been instrumental in making sure that United have reached where they are at this point in time. There are other players who have been instrumental, none more so than Katie Zellem, Ella Toone, Millie Turner, Leah Galton. All of these players have had equal roles to play and have been instrumental in the success of this club as a whole. It is also important to note that this club has seen its fair share of ups and downs. Not too long ago, Casey Stoney, our previous manager, stepped down. We had to let go of our best player, Lauren James, who's currently a Chelsea player, and we've had key departures in different areas as well. And in spite of these hiccups, in spite of these obstacles, and in spite of the challenges that the Man United women's team have faced over the course of these 5 years, we have gone ahead and had a performance for the ages in this season. And to make things much more sweeter, United have already secured their place in the Women's Champions League for the upcoming season on courtesy of the likes of Arsenal and Manchester City dropping points, which means that United will also play in the Women's Champions League for the very first time since its inception. How great of an achievement is that? How brilliant is the magnitude of this achievement at a time where women's football is gaining prominence, is gaining importance, and is also gaining a vast amount of significance. United Women's performances only goes to increase that standard and also gives a huge platform for many like-minded women footballers to come ahead. It also gives us fans a chance to put all our support behind the United women's team as well for all those who do not have much of an idea. So this is a great step forward. Let's talk about the players who were there in 2018-19. The four players, the quartet of Katie Zellem, Leah Galton, Millie Turner, and Ella Toon. All four of them were trying to get United Women promoted from the second division to the Premier League, to the Women's Super League. And now, 5 years down the line, these four players will be gearing up to play for United Women at Wembley in an FA Cup final and are also one step closer to getting the Women's Super League. Indeed, football has come full circle for these four. They are our stars. They are one of our own, and it is beautiful to see these stories being written at a time where you need it the most. Another reason where United have improved over the last few seasons is the right mix of experience in coaching. When Casey Stoney stepped down, there was a massive search for who would be the next manager, and the manager who would come in would have to have pedigree, experience, and the ability to get the most out of their players. Step forward, Mark Skinner. Mark Skinner is a manager with oodles and loads of experience in the women's game. He's been the head coach of the Birmingham City women's team and Orlando Pride in the MLS. Safe to say, he has a lot of experience working in two different countries and identifying and getting the best out of both the worlds, whether it is from the US or whether it is from England itself. Coming back into United, he's made this team go from strength to strength and has bought out the best of a wide range of players, ranging from Mary Earps to Alicia Russo, so on and so forth. So Mark Skinner is another key cog in the wheel for United's success throughout this season. While this is not to say that Manchester United women before this season have been poor or have been below par. In fact, in the season since they have gained promotion, United have constantly finished fourth in each of their previous seasons. However, fourth place in the Women's Super League is not enough to gain Champions League qualification. In the previous seasons, especially in the last two seasons, in 2021 and in 21-22, United were favourites to get into the Champions League positions, but for some reason or the other, the final stretch had always proved to be their Achilles heel, which meant, especially in the last season, where United dropped 10 points in the last few games just because they weren't able to keep their collective heads, thereby resulting in missing Champions League qualification altogether. However, this year has been different. This year, United have shown the good old Fergie time DNA with the ability to score late goals and turn results in their favour. United women have gained 9 points by scoring goals in the last 15 minutes of the Women's Super League. More so, United managed to get into the Women's FA Cup final by scoring an 89th minute winner in the FA Cup semi-final versus Brighton and Hove Albion. That goes to show the mental strength, the mental improvement, and the increase in mental fortitude in our girls, which has led to a miracle season, a Cinderella season, or call whatever you may. English football, especially in the women's circle, was dominated by three teams in the past 3-4 years: Arsenal, Chelsea, and Man City. While Chelsea still are the favourites because they have one game in hand and are just 1 point behind, like we always say, football is a game of glorious uncertainties, and it is never over until the fat lady sings. So United have entirely the fate in their own hands, which means that United have to win both their games. And with the way things are going, with the way they are playing, United have won their last 5 Women's Super League games, which means that they are the form team and you expect them to win their games. The next game is a potentially tough fixture versus Man City women, but with the form that United have been in, you expect United to go ahead and you go ahead and get those 3 points. However, the FA Cup final is a very difficult proposition. But full trust in our girls. United faced Chelsea, and United so far, I think, have never managed to beat Chelsea in a women's game. And United would be eager and very interested to break that voodoo that Chelsea have over them. Chelsea and it would obviously mean that United have taken a step from being perennial contenders to being a favorite and to be the team that breaks the hegemony of these three teams. Where it was called the top three, United are making sure that they are being recognized in this and will be considered as the Fab Four. Some of the players have already believed that United have made their way into the established monopoly, and now it is not a top three. In fact, it is a Fab Four, and this is the mentality. This is the elite thinking, and this is the standard that Man United should be held at, whether it is the men's team or whether it is the women's team. My weight is entirely behind our women's team to go ahead and make history. You will never get a better opportunity than this. There will be opportunities ahead, but this opportunity in particular, with the potential of winning a potential double, the Women's Super League and the FA Cup in the same season, for a team that was just reformed 5 years ago, this is a massive feather in our cap. This is what makes you legends, what makes you and gives you that entrance into the pantheon of greats. Katie Zellem especially wants. Katie Zellem has said in an interview that this final for her is a huge thing because her father and her uncle, both of them have played in Wembley for a tournament. Unfortunately, they ended up in the losing side. Katie Zellem, on a personal front, is hell bent to make sure that she ends up on the winning side. And this motivation can seep into the others, and we can go ahead and create history. We are very close, guys. We are very close. This is the time to go ahead and put all our support behind our women's team. Our women's team are writing a story of their own. Our women's team is making us proud. Our women's team is going on a journey that needs no introduction because they are already in the spotlight, they are in the news, and they have been in the news for all the right reasons. They have been brilliant, they have been calculated, they have the mentality, and they have the skill, which is why this is the time to make sure that we give all our support to our women's team. With that being said, we come to an end of this episode. United find themselves on the cusp of history, on the cusp of immortality, and the FA Cup and the last two games of the Women's Super League season is a defining period in our history, no matter how brief, no matter how short. So this is the time to go ahead. We are behind you, and we hope that you make us proud and you make yourselves proud. So with that being said, we come to an end of this episode. Thank you so much for tuning in. Thank you so much for joining into this video. Do go ahead and show us some love by liking, subscribing to our channel, liking this video if you do like the content that we put out. Also go ahead and press the bell icon so that you're notified for any video that comes out from our channel. We are always active on our social media spaces on Twitter and on Instagram. The link is in the description. Go ahead and drop us a follow there. We are also perpetually active on WhatsApp. Every day is match day in that. So we would love to have you on board. It is an ever-growing family. We always have room for more. With that being said, thank you so much for tuning in once again. This is Delvin wishing all of you goodbye. Do take care of yourself. Stay safe, stay healthy. Till then, GGMU to all.